Okay, let's get into it. Saying no.
Yeah.
It's something we all struggle with,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. It sounds like, well, the easiest word maybe. Two letters.
Right. Just no, but actually doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so hard? I mean, the source we're looking at today really flags that politeness thing,
Mm-hmm.
especially in English-speaking context.
Yeah, the politeness barrier is huge. It makes saying no directly feel, I don't know, almost rude sometimes.
Definitely. Like you're letting someone down or causing a problem.
Exactly. But the source material we have, it's basically a guide, right? Focused on helping you do just that say no in English without feeling awful about it.
Yeah. It's called The Art of Declining Gracefully in English. Kind of a toolkit, really. It's about giving you the actual words, the strategies to say no politely, but also, firmly, confidently.
And that's our plan for this deep dive, isn't it? To sort of unpack that guide.
Exactly. Pull out the best bits, the most practical strategies, the phrases you can actually use.
So you can walk away with like a shortcut to get better at this without sounding harsh, and maybe more importantly, without feeling that guilt afterward.
And here's the really interesting angle the guide takes, I think. It doesn't just treat saying no as, turning something down.
Right.
It frames it as self-respect. Basically valuing your own time, your energy, your limits.
Which is a pretty profound way to look at it. So how does it actually suggest we do that? What are the tips and the specific language for, say, work versus friends versus family?
Okay, yeah, let's dive into that structure. The guide breaks it down by scenario, which makes a lot of sense.
Totally. How you say no to your boss is definitely different from how you say no to your best friend wanting to go out.
For sure. So let's start with work.
Yeah.
You're buried in tasks, totally swamped, and someone, maybe a colleague, maybe your boss, asks for just one more thing. How does the guide suggest handling that?
Well, it gives a few options. One key thing is politeness, acknowledging the request, but then being pretty clear about your bandwidth. So a phrase it offers is something like, I really appreciate you thinking of me for this, but I just won't be able to take that on right now. Maybe add, my plate is really full already.
Full plate. Yeah, that's such a standard English phrase for I'm too busy. It gets the point across without over-explaining.
Exactly. It's clear, polite, doesn't need a huge apology. Another angle, if it fits, is maybe offering an alternative.
Like what?
Like, I'm afraid I can't help with that this time, but maybe Sarah could help. She's got a lot of experience in that area.
Ah, okay. So you're not just saying no, you're trying to be helpful in a different way, redirecting.
Precisely. When it's possible, of course.
Makes sense. And are there other sort of general go-to phrases for work?
Yeah, it lists a few standard polite refusals. Things like, I'm afraid I can't, or I wish I could, but, or even a bit more direct, but still okay. Unfortunately, I'll have to say no this time.
Got it. They soften it a bit, but the no is still clear. Okay, let's switch things up. Social situations. You get an invite, maybe a party or dinner, but you're drained. Or you just really need a quiet night. How do you turn down a friend without hurting their feelings?
The guide really stresses that, boundaries with friends are okay, they're healthy, and often being honest but kind is best.
So what would that sound like?
Maybe something like, hey, thanks so much for the invite. That sounds really fun, but I'm going to have to pass tonight. I really just need some downtime to recharge.
I like starting with the appreciation for the invite. That helps.
Yeah, it shows you value being asked. Or even simpler, more casual. I have to skip this one, but let's definitely do something soon,
Yeah. Yeah, that keeps the connection open for later.
Yeah.
What about specific phrases it suggests here?
It has things like, I think I'm going to sit this one out, which is pretty casual.
Sure.
Or, thanks, but I'm not really feeling up for it tonight. And the classic, can we take a rain check? Or, can we do it another time?
Right. Useful options. Now, family. This can be the trickiest one, can't it? The emotional weight.
Oh, definitely. Like when a family member asks for something big money, maybe, or a huge time commitment that you just genuinely can't manage.
How does the guide approach that?
It suggests needing a balance. You need to be firm for your own boundary, but also really careful and caring about the relationship.
Okay.
So it suggests starting by affirming the relationship, like, Mom, I love you, but I'm just not able to lend money right now.
That I love you, but feels important there.
It really is. It cushions the refusal within the context of the relationship. Or being honest about your limits, maybe offering a different kind of help.
How so?
Like, look, I'm not comfortable lending money, but I'm absolutely happy to sit down with you and help you brainstorm some other options or look at your budget.
Ah, so again, it's not just a flat no. It's no to the specific request, but yes to supporting them in a different way that works for you.
Exactly. It's finding that line. Respecting the relationship, but being clear about your own limits.
And phrases for family situations.
Things like, that's just not something I can do right now. Or maybe I don't think I'm the right person to help with that specific thing. Sometimes you might need to be very clear. Like, I need to be honest. I really can't say yes to that.
Wow, that takes courage, but I can see how clarity prevents problems down the line.
It avoids ambiguity. Yeah. Even if it's tough at the moment.
Okay, one last category. Those quick, everyday things. Salespeople on the street, maybe telemarketers, or just someone you barely know asking a favor you have no time for.
Right? The low stakes encounters.
Yeah. How does the guide handle those?
Here, it says you can generally be much more brief and direct. Politeness is still good, but you don't need elaborate explanations.
So, like,
The absolute classic, no thank you.
simple, effective.
Exactly. Gets the job done. Or slightly softer maybe. Thanks, but I'm not interested.
Okay.
The key is just being clear and concise so you can move on.
So less about cushioning, more about just clarity and efficiency.
Pretty much. Keep it short. No, but thanks. I'm good, thank you. Or, not today, thanks. They all work. Polite, clear, no room for negotiation, really.
This guide also summarizes things nicely, right? It
Yep.
groups phrases by how direct they are.
Yeah, that's a helpful way to see the spectrum. You've got the really direct but still polite ones. No, thank you. I'm not interested.
They're the ones that add a little reason.
Right. Using things like, I wish I could, but I can't because. Or, I'd love to help, but I just have too much on my plate right now.
And then the boundary setting language.
Those are really important for protecting yourself. That doesn't really work for me. Or, actually, I'm not comfortable with that.
And finally, that redirecting option we talked about.
Yep. I can't manage X, but maybe Y could help.
Wow.
Or perhaps try Z.
Okay, so we've kind of journeyed through these different scenarios, work, friends, family, everyday stuff, and pulled out specific strategies and like actual phrases from the guide. It really does feel like a practical toolkit.
It aims to be, yeah, giving you versatile ways to say no without feeling like you have to or feeling like you're being awful.
And there's that crucial point the guide makes that ties it all together. Practice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely key. Knowing the phrases is one thing.
But actually saying them out loud. Regularly.
That's how it gets easier. How it starts to feel less awkward, more natural over time.
It makes total sense. It's a skill, like any other communication skill. You have to build that muscle. And bringing it back to that core idea from the source,
Yeah.
the self-respect piece, saying no as a way of honoring your own needs, your time, your well-being.
Yeah, if you connect it to that bigger picture, learning to say no effectively isn't just about managing your diary, is it? It's really about taking charge of your life a bit more, protecting what matters to you.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? And maybe that's a good question for you, listening right now. If saying no is fundamentally about valuing yourself, your time, your energy, your boundaries, if it's about self-respect, just think, what's one area, just one small area in your life right now where practicing saying no could give you an immediate boost in that feeling of self-respect? Maybe mull that over as you go about your day.